sense.
You just triggered something in my head.
What's that?
Something I read earlier about personal years in numerology, and when you go through the 4 personal year, because it's so restrictive and binding, and like, how do I get out of this situation? You become more creative.
What's personal year?
A personal year in numerology, so
Are there in personal years?
no,
Oh.
they're all just personal to you. So every 9 years, we go through a different vibration of a different cycle. Like, the one energy is like, maybe confidence, maybe sun, attention, starting something new, because it's starting all over. It's at the beginning, so you could be transitioning into like a new job or something like that. The 2 years more of the moon energy. The 3 years, the Jupiter optimism. The 4, though, because I had somebody online talking about how they were going through a lot of financial struggles and career issues, and feeling like they couldn't, advance. And I was like, did last year feel like this, and then this year feel like this? And so it's like, yeah, it does. And so that's what that is. And so when you are feeling so restricted, just like in jail, with people who are in jail, they get really creative. Like, because there's literally, you only have
Yeah.
so many things that you can do. And
I seen
so,
somebody make a cake in prison.
yeah, they make cakes.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
make clothes. They're like the
yeah.
fashion designers in there.
Yeah.
And so that's what happens when you take away all the distractions. So we all go through it. And so that's what, whenever it comes to like readings and stuff, and
That's what happened during COVID too.
yeah, and it depends on
Yeah.
what you were experiencing during that time. That's why
Yeah.
some people really flourished and blossomed during that time, because they were so on top of the restriction for everyone. Some people were going through their own personal restriction, personal
Was
4 year.
got a question for you. Was 2020 a personal year for the U.S.?
So, well, the we all the so you just add up the year, the numbers of the year. So
4.
2024. So 2 plus 2 plus
4.
4.
No, it was 4. 2020.
Oh, 2020. Yeah, 2020 is 4. Yeah.
So is that a personal year?
Oh yeah.
That's why
It was a
everything
universal personal year
That's
for
why it
you.
got restricted. Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't that weird how
So everything. Okay.
Isn't that weird how numerology works? Like, you can see, because then of course the next year, what is that, 5 changed. The restriction started to lift. People started to become more free, because 5 is about like freedom.
Yeah.
And then of course the 6 is like a loving.
Six.
What is 2022? Yeah, 222. So 6. So again, everybody started to come back together.
No, oh.
Started to come back with their families. Be more, a little bit, maybe more loving.
What about that 7?
The 7 is the spiritual year. So a lot of people start to and one person in particular who I do regular readings with, she's in a personal year 7 right now, and she's deep diving into astrology, like a lot.
So how do you figure out your personal year?
You add up your birthday, just the month and the day, and then the year that it is right
Month,
now.
day, and the year. So not the
Yes.
year you're born.
No, just the month, the day, and then the year that it is right now.
All right, let me figure my shit out real quick.
Okay.
Hold on. Math, my math. Let me get my coffee.
Okay. Well, anyways, while you're thinking of adding those 2 numbers,
Hey, chill, yo.
I'll just continue to explain. So
11.
that's how, and that's why I don't like I said, astrology and numerology has opened up my eyes to so much stuff. Like, you really cannot judge people on what they're going through, because you don't have control over it. Like, you have.
So we don't have free will.
That's something I kind of go back and forth with all the time. I think you have enough to. So, and this is what I was reading in my book earlier that I have on personal years, reading on the 4 year. Like, it literally said in there, you feel like you have no kind of free will at all, because no matter what you do, it feels like, oh my gosh, I cannot, like, get out of this. But that mindset forces you to become creative, and so you start to, like, create your own, I guess, path. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm trying to figure out the free will part. So we don't have free will. I have an idea about free will.
I think that
Like
Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking because a lot of people. So with looking at astrology and even in certain religions, they talk about. No, I can't name a specific verse or any proverb or anything like that, but how your life is ordered. Have you heard that before? Your
Yes.
life is ordered. Everything is already by design,
Mm-hmm.
and all that other good stuff like that. So, I don't think we have the free will like we think we do, or our idea of free will is
Yeah.
different. I think we do have free will to feel.
Yeah.
We have the option to feel, and I forget what I don't know if this is a real verse or somebody told me this, but it said the angels are jealous because we get to feel.
Yeah.
That's the free
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. The
We,
human
we get to,
emotion.
we get to experience our emotions, and I
Mm-hmm.
think these other entities don't get to experience that so much like we do as a human.
Yeah.
Because we get the physical feeling, right,
Mm-hmm.
and we get the spiritual and the emotional feeling. That's what it comes to. So we have the
Yeah.
free will to feel, but I don't think we have free will to be like, all right,
I'm gonna
my
be.
life is going to be like this. Although
Yeah.
you might manifest something,
Yeah.
but it was already supposed to be that anyway.
Yeah.
Man, this fucking Trill Burgers shit, man. They backing up the line.
That's crazy.
That's selfish, yo.
Ruining the philosophical moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to kind of piggyback off what you said, like I feel like
Yo, I can't go anywhere, yo.
who's honking? Oh my gosh.
That's wild, yo.
Holding up the whole.
Oh, for a funky ass burger, yo.
That's crazy. That person's in there going like this, like, sorry, sorry. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah, let's go down the street and turn back
It's
around.
never that serious to have a freaking hamburger.
And
Oh
she
my
don't have free
gosh.
will.
She don't.
That's what it is.
So-
She controlled by the burger meat. Yo. Let me stop.
Well,
Nah, how do you feel about Trill Burgers, really quick? Side note.
they're okay. Like, it's not.
I think it's a little
No
overrated.
place,
Yeah.
no restaurant. I'm sorry. I love food and like trying new restaurants and places, but no place is worth waiting more than 30 minutes.
In this heat, they're outside in
They're
line.
standing in a line.
Standing for an hour in 102 degree
For a
heat
hamburger.
index for meat patties that are smashed together. Like to me, it's no better than
Love
fucking,
you, Bun B, but sorry, can't
what's
do
the place?
it.
Is it like Steak and Shake? Is Steak and Shake the flat burgers?
I don't know.
It's just like everything else. I'm like, y'all, what are y'all tripping over, yo?
Yeah. Anyways, back to free will. So, my idea of it is like, and I've said this before in my YouTube videos, like, I think that we are in like a video game essentially where there is a final level, a final boss, a final last place you can go or where you can reach in the game, but you have control over like the routes. But ultimately, the end goal is going to be the same. So if
You have control over the routes, how?
I think that we have control over the route, as far as like whenever you learn stuff like your midheaven or your your gifts and talents.
So what you're saying is basically life's purpose is we got put into this game, and the purpose is to figure out how to play the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I think that we're like I said, like I have midheaven Leo, okay, and Leo is about being confident, being a leader, being like the center, spotlight, all those kind of things. I think I could be several different things. A teacher. I know how to teach. So my gift is teaching, I believe. I know because I've heard it from people. And you can use that gift and teach anything. So I can teach public school. I could teach astrology. I can teach health and fitness if I really studied at it. Like, I just feel like I have the gift of teaching, and then you can just apply that gift anywhere. But but I also still think that the way that we're going, that's the part that I'm like, okay, are we picking? Like, are we really picking it, or is it being picked for us?
I think it has to be picked for us in order for this puzzle of life. Because remember, everything fits together. Everything is one long domino effect.
Yeah.
And everything fits together. It may not look like it fits together, but even the slightest interaction with somebody has to happen in order for something else that has to happen.
Yeah.
So it's all like a big puzzle fix. So yeah, it is already picked out for you. but you have the option or the free will to feel.
Yeah.
Do we have the free will not to feel?
Well, we're in control of our emotions, I think.
I mean, people can kill themselves.
They can.
So that's the free will of, like, I don't think animals can kill themselves.
You don't think that they commit suicide?
I seen a deer one time jump off the edge side of a mountain. I was driving down the mountain in Asheville, North Carolina.
You know, I should ask Twitter, do animals commit suicide?
Nah, I think this one did. There was 2 deer in the road. I guess it got frightened. I was driving down slow and I stopped the car so it can move. And it was like looking confused back and forth. And then it jumped off the side of the mountain. And the other deer looked, it was like, nah, homie. And it ran up the other mountain. I was like, what did it do that for? And I looked down, I was like, there was nothing. It was a straight drop. I don't know if it thought it was gonna hit land, but nah, that deer, I'm not laughing at suicide, of course, but I was upset because I was yelling in the car like, no, 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 and it jumped. I'm like, what the fuck did you do that for? It made me feel bad. Like, I wasn't even trying to, I stopped the car. I wasn't trying to hit him or nothing like that.
I saw a question about that, or a tweet about that this morning of somebody said, why, I think they think that they're the only ones who feel like this, but they feel like suicide is not a selfish thing. Because people are like, the quote underneath it was like, why would you commit suicide? Don't you realize people love you and, you know, how you make them feel if you're gone and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, what about them suffering every single day mentally?
That's a tough question. I've had
That's selfish too.
I had a family member commit suicide about a year or 2 ago, and I don't know. It's a terrible place to be in mentally.
Yeah.
And then there's like torment or torture. I'm not saying that I felt like that, but I've been in very low states in my life to where I felt like, you know, I don't know if I want to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think everybody goes through that time. At least majority of people.
If you have Aquarius placements,
yeah, you think about
Saturn.
It's not that you want to do it, but it's just like you get exhausted.
It kind of takes over you.
Like it beats you to the point to where it's like, fuck, yo, like.
Yeah.
When is it gonna work for me?
And you know what's worse is when people are unaware. So there was a question posed on Twitter yesterday that was like, what has help improve your mental state or mental health or whatever? And somebody said human design, and I said astrology, numerology, and human design, because they all have an aspect to them that the other one doesn't, or the way you can understand it.
Yeah.
And if you are, like I said, in that personal 4-year, whether you're feeling the frustration of like, oh my gosh, why is nothing working no matter what I'm doing? Like, you feel like it's you, and it seems like there's no end in sight, but there has to be an end because it has to vibrate to a different number or a different energy. It can only remain in that place for so long.
Yeah.
So even though I get frustrated at like the stuff that I'm dealing with, I know where it's coming from. It's just so it wouldn't be as bad. Like the last time I experienced this at this time, I was trying to become a full-time teacher, and I was substitute teaching, but I was getting all these certifications, and like nobody was wanting to hire me. I was like, I have all the credentials, like, can't you see? And it was frustrating, but then you learn like, okay, eventually I got a job, you know, so eventually it's going to change. You just have to be aware of the timing, and yeah, it can feel like forever, like an eternity. But once you understand everything, then to me, it help me like kind of chill out.
Do you think if you limit your desires, a lot of Eastern philosophy speaks about limiting your desires to increase your happiness. If you limit your desires, would there be more happiness in this world? Do you believe that's true?
Yes.
So, if people stop, I guess, wanting more, are they being complacent, or are they choosing happiness?
That's a tough question. That's a good question. Because I can see both sides to it. Because complacency can be frustrating because you know that there's room for more or
But
potential.
was it more? Was it more stuff, or is it? What is it?
More experiences in my case, in my eyes of how I would view my own life. Like if I just was be like, oh, just just work a regular old job. Like no, because my energy inside of me always wants to explore something new, and
Be-
that could include food, and that could include
Well,
traveling, and it could include.
so it can explore something new, but it's only because you know of something new. If you didn't know of that, then you'll be fine with what you're doing and where you're at. So sometimes knowledge of more can be just as damaging as anything else because, oh, that's out there, I could get it. Instead of just being okay with what you, because there's nothing wrong with what you have.
Oh, you mean like if you like
Like,
social media wasn't a thing?
yeah,
Like people don't see like all these
social media, TV,
vacations.
commercials, all this other stuff, these vacations, people see that. I want to
Mm-hmm.
do that with my couple. I want to, you should fuck up and go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Like, they're making it seem like you should be doing this. You should be doing this to experience happiness. No, a lot of them motherfuckers hate each other. That's their job.
yeah, it's a
And they're not telling you that.
It's consumerist society.
Yeah, it's a very consumerist. You know that America, not only America, just any colonized
Like
place,
buy,
anything else,
money,
tells
money,
you
money, money, money.
what you don't have and why you should have it,
Yeah.
and how it can make you happy.
Well, I think
Like,
that it causes
instead of-
depression.
exactly. So depression is caused by, I'm not saying solely, but some depression can be caused by desiring so much.
Yeah.
If you desire so much, you only have one being, one body. You can only get and do so much at a
Yeah.
time. So if you limit your desires, you really do increase your happiness.
Yeah.
So is the pursuit of happiness limiting your desires, or is it actually pursuit of more?
That's a good question.
I know it's a good question.
Because I always think about this stuff all the time.
Me too. So I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, I want
I
this
want
type of apartment. This car will be nice, or whatever like that. I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with the car I have now.
Yeah.
And it gets me to point A to point B, just like the Hummer EV does over there.
Yeah.
You know, so what truly matters
And
is
why
what we need.
it's more I think it's what's the root of it.
Yeah.
Why do you want that particular thing? Because I don't believe
Because
that
you see, it's a symbol of success.
yeah. Well, I don't believe that we should feel like we don't deserve more, because there's plenty of people who have a lot of things.
Is
but
it more or better? So that's what we got to get. Do you deserve more, or do you deserve better?
well,
Like,
the quality.
quality.
I mean
Okay.
quality.
Because more just sounds like
Not
you want
stuff.
Yeah.
No, I don't want stuff. I want quality things. I
Okay.
want things that will last. Like my car, I'm very fortunate. Knock on wood. I've had this car for almost 10 years, and it's great. It gets me from point A to point B. There's nothing wrong with it. I like it. However, I would like another car that will last me just as long, because that car I have now, it's only going to last for so long. You can only, before you have to keep on repairing it over and over and over again. So I want, not that I want another car just to be having like MTV cribs, but I know how long it will last, and so I want another quality car so it can last long.
That's understandable. Have one in quality, to me, kind of. I mean, it's something that you desire, but you want something that that works.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm a firm believer in buying a lot of these things that are name brand, that because it works and it's a
Yeah.
better quality. I don't want to buy something and then it breaks and I have to go buy again to keep
Yeah.
doing it. Just because
That was my first car.
because it's the store brand and not the real thing. You know what I'm saying? That could be
Yeah.
with a couple different things, but yet it's the desires that people have that really trouble them. You know, even in like even with relationships, if you have the desire to be with somebody else, not solely be with them, but like a sexual desire or something like that, that's what hurts people.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't know how to control or limit that desire.
Speaking of, I saw a story on Twitter. It was this girl's TikTok. She found out that her boyfriend was cheating on her. She paid for his vacation or paid for something of him. He was cheating on her. Took her best friend. I mean, he took the best friend, her best friend, and they both died
Oh, no.
when they were on that vacation. They got into an accident,
That's terrible.
and she was pregnant.
Why would I want to hear about that?
But I'm saying,
fuck is
we're
that?
just talking about. You were
What the fuck
just
is that?
you were just talking about how it could hurt people.
No, I mean like,
Giving into your desires. You're desiring
man, you done took a
the
whole level,
friend,
went morbid as shit.
the
Like I'm
girl.
over here talking about like emotional stuff, and you talking about
Well, that was the moral of the story. So yes, your
yeah,
desires can
okay,
be to your detriment.
damn. Now you make people want to not desire nothing. Shit, niggas gonna be in the house.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, like, if you're doing something you know you shouldn't do, you got
It's
your
not that
girl back.
extreme, but anyway, I see what you're saying.
Well, that's the story I saw. But anyway, so I don't believe that.
On
Don't
that
become,
phone.
don't be complacent to where you feel like, oh, I'm just fine like this, which you can be. I mean, you
Why you
can.
gonna tell them don't and then like say
No,
you
no,
can't?
no. I'm saying, like, if you really want something, like if you want that car, if you want that because
I say
you feel like you deserve it or what, like, get it.
it's fine being complacent. It is fine being complacent, but don't complain about it. It's the complaints like
Yeah.
that get you like you're fine with being complacent, but yet you're complaining about your living situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go get something with better quality
Yeah.
and be content with that. Some people are content with the middle class lifestyle. Some people are content with Section 8. They're okay with that. They got a
Yeah.
roof over their head, they got clothes in the back, and got food on the table.
Yeah.
What they think is food. Some people.
Yeah.
So I used to look at people and was like, y'all don't want more or better
Yeah.
quality? And it just depends on that person's energy. And in astrology, like they're fine with the fundamentals, they're
Yeah.
fine with the basics. or
And
whatever
some
like that.
come from, like I said, like you come from Mexico where it's, or certain sections of Mexico. It's not all. Just like Africa ain't all what they think. But
Yeah.
you're coming from super poverty, then you come here to the States and you're living in the low income areas. It's probably way better than how they were living there. So to them, this is like, this is great. This is amazing. There is a roof and have neighbors and we're in community and that's fine.
The pursuit of happiness is not what you think. Don't let them lie to you. Limit your desires.